something
Well,
before that.
we're not going to do a principal video. Principal Debagian will be
Or the
here.
principal welcome. Is she in here right now?
Well, I think she's running a few minutes late.
Okay.
But that's okay. So we will go back to the principal's welcome when the principal arrives. So I'm sure she's finishing up like another meeting because they have tons of those. So thank you again for coming and putting your name, organization in the chat window, which I'm not actually looking at right now. But this is Vivian. She'll be with us off and on throughout the morning. So sometimes her comments need interpretation, and I will do my best. So let's see. Principals, welcome. Like I said, we'll come back to that. So students, those of you who are here, thank you guys for coming. One of really the most important parts of STEM is student input. It's one of the reasons we have the pathways that we have, and one of the guiding forces for a lot of our decisions throughout our history and throughout our day-to-day stuff. So, one second. It's okay. Okay. So we wanted to give them a chance to let you know some of their experiences at STEM and give you a chance to find out more through their eyes. So if we look back in the agenda, and I'm not sure if everybody has this up, so I will just copy this and here, let me put this link in the chat so that if you don't have access to the agenda, you can. But there are some student question suggestions. If you can't think of anything to ask, but would like to. And here they are. So, okay.
Hi, everybody.
So,
sorry, just joining in.
Good morning, Mr. Bagian.
Good morning, Mr. Bagian. Good morning. So we can actually go right back to the principal's introduction in just a moment. But now that these questions are up, if people want to take a quick look at them, you can. Of course, you can ask the students whatever's on your mind as well. So, Principal Debagian, do you just got here? Are you ready to do your welcome, or do you need a few more minutes? Yes?
Yes.
Take it away.
Hello, advisory board. Most of you know me probably as teacher or instructional coach, but I'm taking on a new role this year. I am the principal this year. I'm sure a lot of you had heard Mr. Hirsch has been promoted. He's overseeing about I believe 15 or 16 schools in the Fairfax region of LAUSD. And this is just an incredible opportunity for him and for me. I'm really excited to take on this challenge, although I would be lying if I was saying it's a little nerve-wracking doing this during the pandemic. It's definitely a whole new different educational landscape, a lot of new things to juggle, as I'm sure you're aware, because it's dramatically changed all of our lives. Thank you, Catherine. I see your comment. Thank you. I just want to say how important, probably more than ever, professional involvement in students' lives is going to be at this juncture. The number one thing really that educators can do at this moment in time is personally and meaningfully connect with their students because of how much harder it is to do that in this moment. And those relationships that we build are going to drive and fuel the connectedness that students feel and the incentive they feel to learn and be involved. It's not going to be some amazing lesson plan. That helps, don't get me wrong, but it's going to be how connected and invested they feel with their teachers. And I think you can get that also through their relationships with professionals, because you hold an entirely different motivational power than teachers. A lot of times, teachers are viewed as people who might be experts in delivering content, but not necessarily experts in the field. And as you know, most of our students are highly motivated to get careers and futures and degrees in the STEM fields. And when they talk to you and have experiences, whether it's shadowing you or just having you consult on a project, it completely changes their world and it defines their learning in a way that is utterly groundbreaking. And I just want to encourage and commend all of you in the advisory board to continue this work now more than ever. I really appreciate that you are a part of our school. I truly believe that our professional partners are the reason our students dream beyond and don't just want to, get an A in Algebra 2 or their medical class. They want to get into college and pursue their dreams because through you, they see it's possible. Through you, they see themselves in a new future. So thank you so much. And I hope to assist you in any way I can in building this partnership. And that's it.
Thank you, Principal Devagian. Yeah, we're all excited that you're a principal and happy to be on this very new journey for all of us as we adjust to this way of life and this type of teaching. And to reiterate what she said, engagement is key now more than ever, because it's as easy as it is to get to school, because you don't actually have to go anywhere. It's just as easy not to. And we want to make sure students have that much more of a reason to come to school, to come to class. And in a large part, that's where you guys come in. So
And just to intercede.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, David. The reason
No.
I was late is because my high school assistant principal stopped in the office today to say hello because he heard through his wife, who still works at LAUSD, that one of his students, me, now became principal, and he stopped by to say congratulations. And then I just want to bring that up because that's like a connection that I as a student made with someone at my high school, and now that has transferred into a professional relationship that, he's here to support me. And I want our students to have that feeling. Like I feel incredibly, incredibly privileged that here is another resource that I have. He's not an LAUSD anymore, he's retired, but still, he's a professional in the field that I'm in now who's offering help. And that's because of the relationship I was able to make as a high school kid. Who knew that was going to happen? But here we are. I certainly wasn't planning on being a teacher, let alone a principal in high school, but it's awesome. So the relationships we make in high school are totally the relationships that can help us in life. Sorry to interject, David. Just wanted to insert
No,
that.
that's amazing. How
I
cool
know.
is that?
Very cool.
Wow. So hopefully some of the students that you'll hear from will be able to have similar experiences with their teachers and maybe with some of you. So I want to share my screen again just for a moment. I brought up the questions before on a document with much smaller typing. So here they are again. just in case you haven't seen them. So a lot of the questions sort of focus on a similar theme. What types of learning opportunities would you like to see at STEM at your school? How's your experience been enhanced by working with industry professionals? Whether it's been talking about a project with a judge, which many of you have thankfully been, learning from a guest speaker, also, many of you have done that, being a volunteer, having an internship, mentorship. So many of our students have had those opportunities because of you. Have you participated in an internship? If so, where and what did you do? And as for the students, if somebody asks one of these questions just sort of open-endedly, if it applies to you, feel free to jump in and answer. And then let's see what else. How has online learning changed your overall school experience? Most challenging project you completed, and what did you do to make it successful? So those are suggestions and some ideas just to get our brains on the same wavelength. Oh yeah, and these are some other ones. Why did you come to STEM in the first place? What's it like being a student here? How often do you work in groups and on projects? How can I, as a professional, help you in your school? Challenges you're facing with remote learning, and perhaps talk about some project-based learning you've done in the past and what you think the most valuable aspect of that type of learning would be. So let me stop that now. And okay, cool. Thank you, Hannah, for doing that. So I'd like to, I think everyone has the ability to unmute themselves. I believe that's happened. So students, hopefully you are ready. What I'd like you to do real quickly, students, is just say your name and so name, pathway, and grade. And just to start things off, Jalissa, I see you first on my screen. So would you mind starting?
And if you're in leadership,
Yeah.
say if you're an officer or not also.
Okay. So I'm Jalisa Morales. I'm an 11th grader, and the pathway I'm in is engineering.
Thank you. Ingrid, you want to go next?
Hi, I'm Ingrid Santiago. I'm the 10th grade rep, and I'm in the medical pathway.
Thank you. Edgar?
Hello, everybody. My name is Edgar Garcia. I'm a current senior in the engineering pathway.
Thank you. Ashley, Tuti?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ashley Hernandez. I am the vice president of the class, and I am a senior in the medical pathway.
Okay, thank you. Shaylee?
Hi, my name is Shaylee Ortiz, and I am the 11th grade representative, and I'm in the medical pathway.
Excellent. Ashley?
Good morning. My name is Ashley Escobar. I am currently the president, and I am a senior.
Thank you. And Katie?
Good morning. I'm Heidi Ponce, and I'm a 12th grade senior at STEM Academy of Hollywood, and I'm in the medical pathway.
Excellent. All right. I'd like to open the floor up to our guests. If you'd like to start with some questions.
This is Sal Bonacorso from the panel. Hi guys, how are y'all? I hope y'all are doing well. I know you can hear me, but you don't have to respond. I do have a question. I'll ask this of Heidi. Heidi, and you probably speak for most of your students, y'all are in the medical track. For several of y'all were in the medical track. How do you feel being part of the COVID issues that are happening right now in society, and it's affecting your learning process right now? We're all talking on Zoom. Typically, we would be in the classroom. How do you feel that it's impacted the student body, and especially your tract? has it provided an additional focus since you're in the medical track? And how do you see that impacting your career choice? Has it made it more of a challenge for you, or more of an inspiration that you do need to be in this field and society needs you as a whole?
Well, being online, like learning online, it's been a challenge, I could say, for myself specifically, because I live in a small home and I have a lot of people, so there's always a lot of noise. But I feel like for the student body and as a whole, I feel like it's affected everyone, because I feel like since STEM was a really small school, everyone felt connected and everyone felt together. And then now that it's, we're in quarantine, I feel like everyone has like a sense of loneliness, and I feel that has affected a lot. And I feel like because students are lonelier, they're kind of like, they lose motivation to go to school or to attend school or to attend Zoom, because, almost everyone in every class has their camera shut off, so they don't see their friends as often or anything. It has motivated me in a way to continue this pathway, like being online, because I feel like a lot of teachers have, and a lot of programs that I've joined over the summer have done lab simulations online, and I get to kind of experience that in a way. Yeah, and it's like swayed my decision to pursue the medical pathway a little bit more.
Can I add on to that?
Yes, by all means, please.
Yeah, I agree with Heidi. I feel like the student body, like, it has, like, their motivation has shifted, because like we're not there physically and stuff, and a lot of people don't turn on their cameras. But as for the medical pathway, like, I've been in the medical pathway like my whole 4 years, and I feel like learning about how an epidemic works and how pandemic works and what's an epidemiologist and all of these things, like, it helps me view the pandemic in a different way, and helps me, like, I guess it like made me stay more calm, like, when the pandemic first broke out, because like, I kind of knew, like, not the like I kind of knew what was happening in the inside, like what was happening with, like, all the doctor, the CDC, like, I was informed by that. And I find that really cool that I can share that, like, with my family and friends, how, like, the pandemic is working. And I think that, like, to the medical pathway. Yeah.
Great, thank you for that response. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. That's incredible. Pretty powerful too, especially when you have access to those kind of resources in a time like this, when a lot of the information coming at you from various sources, it's hard to tell what to latch onto and what to believe in. It's nice to be able to have that connection through our school, which is, again, something we wouldn't have without partnerships with you. The doctors and Kaiser Permanente, a huge part of that. So other questions that we might have for our students?
Hi there, this is Kathy McIntyre over at Kaiser Permanente.
Hi,
Hi, everybody. As we in the medical field are navigating our new world for you, of creating virtual programs for you, virtual learning opportunities for you, what would you as a student like to see in these virtual opportunities, and what would keep your interest in connecting with us as we do virtual trainings and programs for you?
Can I answer? I think that would keep our interest, and especially my interest too, would be doing more lab simulations online, and also showing videos of actual real life medical procedures. I bet that would be really interesting.
That's awesome. Thank you, Heidi.
We could also, I was thinking of, some students don't know, like, they know they want to be in the medical pathway, but they're not sure exactly. We can have, like, maybe virtual classes or virtual videos where they show exactly what different, like, jobs there are, and what do you need to become that doctor or nurse? I think that would be great.
Thank you. I'm diligently taking notes, especially we have a new partnership with the Bernard Tyson School of Medicine. So we want to integrate them into the learning opportunity as well with you guys.
Kathleen, just curious, is that the new Kaiser School?
Yeah, it is our new
Okay.
School of Medicine, and so they have taken a very strong interest in partnering with us in STEM Academy
Awesome.
to provide learning opportunities. And so I'm trying to pull your feedback because as I go to them, we want to also bring them into our learning and educational process for our students. And so your feedback, students, is so critical because we want to make sure that what we provide to you is something that you benefit from, something you'll learn from, and you'll walk away with added knowledge, but also maybe a new invigoration towards your career path.
We have a former student applying to the new Kaiser Med School, so we're proud of that at STEM, Patrick. Patricio Ruano, yeah.
Love it.
I feel like also like the mentorships we have with like the Kaiser people, like when the guest speakers come, and then like when we get to talk to them and be interactive with them, that's really helpful. Like I know like I joined the Kaiser mentorship program, and you know, to this day, like I talk to my resident, and like he doesn't like only advise me like on like the medical pathway, but like how I can get into college and stuff like that. And I feel like that's really important on my decision on like whether I want to be like in the medical pathway or I don't. I feel like that's like really important too.
Awesome. Thank you. Great job, Jason. That's your mentorship.
Thank you. Yeah. Very excited for the next class of interns.
I'd like to ask a question of the engineering students. What was the most challenging project that you did, and how did you approach it? What did you do to make it successful?
I guess I'll answer that. Hello, my name is Edgar Garcia. This is my senior year right now, and I believe in my sophomore year, Mr. Perez, the sophomore engineering teacher, well at the time, he gave us a project where we could just build what we want based off of metal plates and gear trains. And what I did is, at first I had no idea what to do. I'm gonna be honest. It just, you know, since I personally have ADHD, I get lost in stuff, and some things like just pop in with my creative mind. Sounds like, but what I did is I made like a moving tank, I guess, that ran off of the gear train. And so what it essentially did was one motor would be under the platform of where the plate was for where the gear train would spin. And when the motor would spin the two centered gear trains, it would essentially rotate the entire plaques for the moving tank, and it would just move in a sort of perpetual motion, since it was off batteries and stuff. But yeah, I guess that was kind of my hardest challenge too, because I was also like working on 2 different projects at the time, by myself as well. And yeah, that was probably the best thing I could do.
Who's
could
the
I
other?
speak? Can I say
Julissa?
something? Yeah. So I'm Julissa Morales, and I say the most difficult project for me was probably our last PBL. We didn't present it or anything, but I didn't know how we were supposed to like do a car online of the hydrogen fuel or anything. I was very lost in it. Because right before we got enter quarantine, we were supposed to start building our cars. So I got very lost once we entered. We basically just answered questions and just did a little diagram online. But I felt like I didn't really do anything when it came towards the project.
You didn't have any materials at home with you?
No. He just told us to make a diagram.
Okay.
We had very short notice when we went from campus to at-home learning. So
Yeah.
getting project materials and stuff was tricky.
I would like to say something. My name is Ashley Escobar, and I guess like the challenging project for me was last year. We were supposed to like build a house or like make a house, and we had our own groups and everything, but it was a challenge for me personally because we also had to like do stuff like on a software to build the house, but I'm not really good at stuff like on the computer. So that was like a challenge for me, but we all had to learn at a certain point and it was kind of hard for me. But I was thankful that we had a group because that way like I could just work on other stuff, not like computer stuff. But for a second there, like I had to try to work on the computer, but it was really challenging and I didn't really understand it. But like we overcame that by coming up with the plan to see who was gonna do like the stuff on the computer and who was gonna do other stuff. So yeah.
Ashley, Edgar, and Jalissa, thank you.
Thank you.
Heidi, when did you switch from engineering to medical? What year was that for you?
I switched during sophomore year.
So how would you compare the two? I mean, in terms of some of the projects that you've done, where did you find it most challenging? I mean, obviously you didn't do all of the engineering ones or all the medical ones, but of the ones that you've done.
Some that I found challenging were mostly the engineering ones because I knew that when I entered STEM that I knew that I didn't want to be in engineering, but I chose it because I think when I applied there wasn't space for medical, and then slowly throughout high school some kids they started to move schools, so space started to come up, so I switched to medical. But I knew that engineering was the most challenging one because I didn't have a passion for it, so I wasn't really motivated to complete any assignments, but I ended up completing them. And I found the medical ones least challenging only because I was actually interested in the medical field, and just learning about the human body like interests me and how it works and how the human body can overcome like viruses and different bacteria that enters it.
Other questions that we might have?
David?
Hi.
Hi. Hi, this is Catherine from Encore STEM Teachers. I actually have a question for the engineering track kids as well. And you all sort of alluded to this in that, you were working on projects, in your pathway. And at the onset of COVID and not being able to come into school and work with your teams, your project teams must have been really hard. A couple of you said that. What's happened since March, let's say, till now? Have you found ways to collaborate and work on your projects together? In this year?
I guess since beginning the year, like we didn't really start any projects like heading towards March because nobody knew this was gonna happen. It just kind of came out of the blue. So yeah, I guess a lot of it has to deal with like software, at least in my classes, since I'm taking a couple of college classes that have to deal with like programs like AutoCAD and Tinkercad and stuff like that. and a lot of that, thankfully, like with the software engineers at our school, like help us out. And like, because personally I had to go get my computer because my LUSD one unfortunately wasn't working. There were some technical difficulties with it. I'm not too sure what it was. I tried fixing it myself, but it wasn't a code that I'm not familiar with. I'm only familiar with JavaScript, unfortunately. And yeah, so for AutoCAD, it really helps because there's a online part where a lot other people can view what you're having on like your desktop and stuff. And that way, Mr. Omar, my college teacher for, I guess, draft architecture, he really helped me out and was able to solve the issue. And that also helps with my teammates in groups as well, because he was able to solve their issue as well. And then once we got our technical difficulties underhand, we were able to continue the class and start our learning.
Thank you.
I would say that for me personally, like with projects and stuff, like yeah, when quarantine started, we didn't really have many projects to do. But like midway, I do remember there was like this one project that we had started in school, and the teacher was planning to finish it. Um, it was a challenge because we also had to do a lot of stuff like with softwares and stuff. So like I said previously, that's a challenge for me because I'm not really good at that. But like, we have to learn and try at least try. And so I did. But with our group, we would like meet through Zoom or like FaceTime, and we'd like figure stuff out and see how we would finish our project. So we were like basically always like we weren't physically helping each other out, but we were like finding our ways around it.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
What I would say is that, like I said in the beginning, I had my PBL coming up because I haven't done one in the first semester, and usually we do it in the second semester sometimes. So when quarantine hit, it got really confusing because we had a hands-on project, but we just ended up doing everything else in the PBL except for the actual building. We didn't make a model. I don't know what the program was, but like for right now, for architecture, right, we're doing a new website. It's called SketchUp, and that's what we've been doing recently.
Do you feel like you have, you're able to collaborate like in Zoom, or I'm not sure what platform you guys are using, but do you feel like you're able to work remotely together? Do you have that same kind of, collaboration online?
For me personally, not really in my architecture class because SketchUp, only you can access it and no one can enter it but you. So what we do is we just take screenshots and submit the assignment. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question. If Catherine, if you're finished, I wanted to ask the seniors in the group how COVID is affecting your college plans. Has it impacted where you plan to apply? What if schools don't open again next year? Are you comfortable with having your college experience being all virtual? Just what are your thoughts about college and how COVID has impacted your thinking?
I want to say that like it has impacted like a lot because I wanted to apply to universities and colleges like out of state or maybe like up north, places where like I would most likely need a dorm. And I feel like it's kind of like not a necessary, but like it's gonna be hard like if like June comes around or May comes around, and I'm applying to all of these schools that are like far from where I live, and like I have to pay like out of state tuition, and I'm not even gonna be going there, or like I have to pay a dorm, and I'm not even gonna be like sleeping in the dorm, like. And I feel like it's kind of hard because like we're not really getting like the senior experience, like we're not getting all of the things and all of the help. Like I know we have like resources, them give us like a lot of resources, like um with helping out with college, but I feel like it's a different experience when you're there and where like a teacher's guiding you and helping you. So I feel like that like we don't have that. And then like next year, like if like let's say like we don't go back to school at all, like, and then we don't experience college, it's like we're not, I feel like I'm not experiencing anything. And it's like it's just like a kind of like a sad thought to think about. But I mean, hopefully this is like all like done, when we have to go to college.
Yeah, thank you.
I agree with Ashley how she said that it has weighed her options because she considered out of state. She's the one who's paying out of state tuition. I've um I've had the same issue because I wanted to apply to the school in Florida, but I don't want to be paying out of state tuition if I'm not gonna attend. It has weighed my options a bit because I feel like now I have more time to learn about the different schools and what they offer. And personally, I wouldn't mind if I had to do online school for college because I've seen how my sisters have dealt with it, and I feel like I could handle it and I could get tips from them on how to manage my time with all the work and stuff.
Thank you.
I guess
And
for myself,
sorry.
I guess
Go
it
ahead.
has opened a couple of opportunities since I've read and heard that a couple of schools are now not gonna be like making the SAT like scores a requirement, or
Yeah.
some stuff like that. Yeah, something similar. And I mean, it's kind of a disappointment, I guess, because personally I did pretty good on the SATs, and I guess it's gonna open like more paths for other students as long as they have a high GPA, and they have stuff like community service and other opportunities like extracurriculars and stuff. It might like narrow down the, I guess, the enrollment for like the undergrad class. And yeah, personally I was looking at like UC San Diego or like Berkeley, even though it's really competitive. Not sure if I'm gonna get in, but I was really hoping. And yeah, I guess they did give us an upper hand since we are going through this whole pandemic and stuff. I really appreciate it, but it just kind of like weighs people down or brings others people up. So I guess it's 50-50, you know?
Yeah.
Well, the nice thing, Edgar, is you actually have a lot more extra stuff than you probably give yourself credit for. He is our tech guy for leadership and is amazing. So you have a lot of us who will write you good letters and help you. Don't worry.
I really appreciate that.
I wanted to say something. So for me, it has been a challenge because I when like I need help with things, like I prefer someone like, like helping me, giving me guidance with it. And especially like with college, like it's like college to me is like a very like, how to explain it, like a hard topic. And like it's hard for me to even talk about it with my parents, and like my parents, like they also have to be educated about it and stuff. And and they support me in everything. And it's like it's been a challenge for me that I haven't had like guidance like physically with me helping me through it. But I do appreciate that STEM has been trying their best to give us that guidance no matter what. Like they always have like gear up workshops and like gear up helping. And well, for my advisory right now, we have like a person helping us with college as well, and like opening up like our mind to like what we want to do, what we want to pursue. So that's been really helpful. And yeah, it's just also like a sad thought to just think that we might not go back to school next year, or that we might even be starting college virtually. which in a way is like kind of helpful to me because like it's new and everything, but I'm gonna be at home, you know? So it's like a 50-50, like Edgar was saying. So yeah.
So I have 5 grandchildren in college, and none of them are freshmen this year. 3 of them decided to go to school, and 2 of them decided to take a leave of absence. So even in my own family, it's divided about whether they wanted to do it remotely or not. So 2 of them decided to sit out the year. So
Remember,
thanks for your time.
remember, kids, that Cal State LA has wonderful engineering programs and lots of great support.
I want to say that also like student leaders and student peers, like I feel like that really helps me because I know my friend, she's like a college leader, and we had like a Zoom meeting not that long ago, and she explained it to us, like I guess in a way that we could understand. So then like I could explain it to like my parents, and I feel like that was really helpful. And like I know Gear Up and the college center are doing that, so like that's really good and helpful.
Hi, I have one more question for you students. So in this time of COVID and all these changes and all these different variations of what your life is looking like right now, along with that comes a lot of mental health struggles, a lot of isolation, and it's very difficult. How do we, as professional partners with you, what can we do to help you with these issues, with the issue of isolation, with the issue of maybe sadness, depression? Like you said, you guys are looking at a very different college experience than what you had expected, or maybe what some of your other friends or family got to have that you're not getting to have. How do we help you? How can we support you from a mental health perspective? What would make a difference in your lives?
I'd say a way that you guys can help us would be maybe just guest speakers. And I know that like as a student, just knowing that our school is looking for these resources for us, that helps us. We know that our school cares enough to go through the process of looking for guest speakers to address these problems for us, especially during these difficult times.
Also, I would say would be providing coping skills, because I feel like a lot of people and a lot of students, they don't know how to deal with that loneliness and how to deal with that sadness. And I have a fear that what if we can't reach them and it ends up leading to something worse. So I feel like providing coping skills would be a great help, because I wouldn't want it to get any worse for them.
I guess personally, in my opinion, since I actually do suffer from depression, I guess it takes a different role for me. I do have an amazing therapist that helps me out with actually coping skills, like um, gives me tips on like my drawing and video editing and biking and just finding activities, I guess, to keep you busy while maintaining social distancing. But I guess a way you guys can help us is, I mean, it's always nice to have someone to talk to, and it's always amazing how much STEM will do for you. So I know without a doubt, STEM will always be there for us. But I guess you guys could always like introduce like activities or interest in other jobs. Just keep our minds busy, and to not feel as isolated as unfortunately this time makes it to be.
I feel like I like this whole, like it's been really anxious. I mean, like, especially for me, like I felt like really lonely, and like my anxiety has gone up, like definitely. But I feel like keeping that connection, like with the teachers, because I feel like that's the thing that like kind of like makes me feel like not lonely, like spending time with my teachers, and like advisory time. I feel like in that time, like I feel like more connect, like less lonely, because like I know like my teachers are there for me, and I know like my advisory teachers there for me. And so like I feel like I don't know, like maybe like I don't want to say lessons, but like, you know, like when they educate you on like um resources you can take to like not feel anxious, not feel like, you know, on depression and stuff like that. I feel like that's really important for students mainly.
So we're getting close to the start of our period one, and I want to make sure our students have time to walk to school, so to speak, and do anything they need to do before class. So students, feel free to stay if you can manage it, but I want you to have time to get to class if and do what you have to do if you need to do that. So students, if you need to get going, thank you so much for coming here. This is you really speak for all of us, and you are the STEM experience. So you are the reason we have this meeting. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you guys. Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was honestly a great privilege talking to you guys. So I really appreciate the opportunity, Mr. Trachtenberg.
Thank you, Edgar.
Bye.
We're honored.
Thank you
See
so
you guys
much.
second period.
All right. Have a good day.
Bye, Shaylee. All right. So the rest of you, now that we've heard from perhaps our most important stakeholders, our students, a lot of what was talked about was, you know, what they're experiencing and what life right now has brought to them and how it has affected them. And many of you have asked, well, what can we do? So in your agenda is a STEM virtual classroom supports, which is a Google form, and I'll put it here as well. That is very brief, and I'll show it to you in a second. And it asks exactly that. What based on what you've heard now and some of the opportunities they've talked about and things that you've talked about, what can we work on together to help make our students' learning experiences as effective as it can be now, and something that, you know, years down the road they will remember and carry with them. So let me show you what the form will look like, just so you have an idea. And here it is. So this is actually the second page. The first page is just ask for your email and contact information. But this page is where you and your colleagues, organization, and my daughter check all that apply in terms of things that you can offer or work with us, or ideas you want to develop. There's an other square at the bottom where if something that you're thinking about or want to offer isn't on this list, you can add it in there. But just to briefly go through the list, virtual volunteering, since many places aren't really able to support a lot of in-person visiting, mentoring, and internships. That things like those we've done in the past and are in the process of converting to virtual. Jason and the internship at Kaiser went virtual last spring, and will most likely continue in that vein this year, as well as the mentoring opportunities we have with Kaiser, virtual job site tours, job shadowing. Perhaps someone would be willing to take students along while they're on a Zoom conference and see what their day is like, virtual guest speakers. And keep in mind that the topics that you might be focusing on in your career don't necessarily have to sync up exactly with the content of the class. It's the experience, it's the exposure, it's having that connection to their pathway outside of high school that's really important. Project coach, where instead of just coming in at the end to be a judge, which is important too, coming in intermediate stages where students are working on their projects to give them feedback, explain how related elements are done in the professional world, help keep things as relevant as possible. And in that vein, curriculum consultant, perhaps even before a project is launched, giving feedback on ways to change it, make it more effective and engaging for our students, with the view of enabling what we do at STEM to give our students the best foundation to reach their goals in college and beyond. And then project presentation judge, which almost every single one of you have done in the past in one form or another. So any of those that you're willing to do or explore, you check those off. Other, if you have something else on your mind, and then click submit, and that should that'll keep our conversation going, so things don't end here. And I wanted to go back to our slideshow and bring up this one last element. And it's that in the past, we've had these meetings and we've talked with you about the student needs and the community needs at STEM. And many of you have had great ideas, and we've developed some of those and we've worked with you on some of those, but some of those we haven't been able to gather momentum with. So this action plan really is a way to help us follow through a little bit better. So we have you as a resource, the Pathway Industries and professionals. We have the Community Outreach Committee, who basically put together this meeting, and then we have the classroom needs of the teachers and the students. So we want to make sure that what you can bring to the table and what you're offering makes its way into the classroom as often and in as many ways as possible. So we're going to take the data we gather from the form you fill out and bring that to the greater community at large, and bring that to our teachers and our students, and put it into place so that we can take all of the inspiring information in words that were brought to the table here and put them into action in the classroom, which really ultimately is the goal of what we're trying to do. So I wanted to, well, in the last few moments that we have, we do have a little short video on STEM that I wanted to show you as well, but perhaps more importantly, what other thoughts would any of you like to share at this point?
Hi, David. For me here at Kaiser, the students really today just kind of confirmed for me the concerns that I've had for our youth and the impact that COVID and going virtual has had on them physically and mentally. And so I want to commit with you and your team that we would like to start providing mental health sessions, and I'll be working with our counselors to come and do maybe just regular sessions where they can come in and just chat with some of our professionals to bring them some, some needed assistance and guidance through this time. Because for us here, we've really been focusing on the mental health of both our college students and our youth students. We have opened up our teen program to come back in, but out of like over 185 students, only 8 returned, and that's more of a concern from their parents, which is understandable. So we're really trying to see how we can meet the total needs of our patients when it comes to their careers, when it comes to their mental health, and just helping them navigate these really difficult times. So we're going to work with you guys a little bit more on how we can do that and how we can integrate our professionals to support not only the students, but you as the teachers as well, and all of your staff. We just did a session for Unite LA and their staff. We had some of our professionals come in online and just kind of have an encouragement session with them. So we want to partner with you and Esther and make sure that we're not only meeting the needs of the students, which is critical, but your teachers as well, who are experiencing burnout, who are experiencing, navigating life at home, being a teacher and never leaving the classroom. So we want to work with you as well on how to meet the needs of your total school and this navigation of challenge.
That sounds incredible. Wow. Yeah, we will definitely continue that conversation. That would be, we heard it too. That's a need to be met. So thank you. Other comments? Okay. Well, I think you all have our email if any other ideas spring to mind. We also have that form if you could fill out. And I would like to obviously say from the bottom of my heart and on behalf of everyone at STEM, thank you so much for lending your time and being here. And I'd like to share with you a little video about STEM that probably won't tell you much that you don't already know, but it's pretty cool and it brings the good feels. So I wanted to leave on that note. So I will share that with you post haste.
High school in the heart of Hollywood. We feature 2 career pathways, one in biomedicine and another in engineering.
STEM is special because it creates a safe environment for all students.
My school helped me gain important experiences outside of the classroom. Last summer, I had a paid internship at Kaiser Permanente in the gastroenterology department. I strongly recommend you to go to Lincoln Learning High School because it definitely worked for me.
I wouldn't have to study to be an engineer until I'm in college, but I'm doing it in high school. I get an early head start.
That's what makes STEM so cool. I won't have to struggle in college. I can struggle now.
STEM is family, support, and understanding.
Hot off the
Okay.
presses.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. So thank you again, everybody. We teachers actually have to get to class ourselves. So thank you again so much for coming. Please fill out that form. Let's continue this work, and let's keep our students on the path to where they need to go.
And I
Thank you
can
again
stay
so much
behind for
coming.
a bit if anybody needs to, if any of the partners need to talk.
Excellent.
Thank you very
Bye.
much for this
Bye.
opportunity. We
Bye.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much for attending.
Take care.
Jason and Skylar and Kathleen and Brenda, Catherine, Mary. Wonderful seeing you.
Take care.
Thank you.